Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Mad as a Goat. You know, considering I'm approaching 300 videos on this channel, I thought I don't say my name in these videos, and that isn't going to change with this video, but I am going to tell you a little bit about the guy that you listen to, you know, from time to time and watch go bleh. So today I'm just going to, I might start with my childhood. I'll tell you a little bit about what went down then, because there's some funny little things in there, or at least I've derived humour from it. Like in a lot of videos I say I'm stupid or retarded or put myself down, and that is basically a joke that stems from my childhood, because before I got into primary school, I was in kindergarten, and as far as I know, I'm the only person this happened to. I got kept down in kindergarten because of my speech. I think now I talk basically non-stop to the point that people tend to move away from me. But at this time, I just wasn't talking or acknowledging people, and a lot of doctors said I had signs of autism. Well, there you go. So I went to a bunch of doctors, and we got a bunch of scans done, and it was suggested that I go into a special needs school for people with disabilities. And it's partly why I get so annoyed when people are prejudiced towards disabled people, because maybe I am a little bit like them, you know. From a young child, I remember visiting the school and talking to the people, and there was like people in wheelchairs and people making noises and very different, especially as a child. And I was being told that I would be joining the class the following year. So, yeah. But then, I guess fortunately for me, there's a primary school not far from here, and the principal there heard about this whole thing and said, "Nah, bring him on over here." So, my dad was along with it because he saw more in me than being in a special needs school. So I was put into the regular school, and in primary school for the first half, I had zero friends. Nobody liked me. And I was very, very quick to anger. Because when you're alone, your fight has to be 100% played by you when you are attacked or insulted. So I made it very extreme, and I remember as a child I got in a lot of trouble. One person said he pissed on the taps that I was drinking out of, so I waited till he started to drink, and I whipped my dick out and I pissed on it while he drank from it. Weird, yes, but that's what I did in primary school. I was a very angry person. I used to get people in headlocks, lots of fighting. Yeah, it wasn't good. But then about halfway through high school, I started hanging around with people, and they just happened to be bad people. People who were like smashing up cars and doing graffiti, which in primary school was like, whoa, I thought it was cool, to be honest, at the time, that they were doing all these things and setting fires. So I hung around them, and till about the age of 12, we just rode around on bikes, terrorizing people, smashing cars, doing all sorts of horrible shit that I couldn't get away with as an adult. And I'm kind of happy I did it as a kid and got away with it, to be honest, because, not everyone has that experience. Like, I remember I used to hang around with this kid, Bo, and his neighbour left on a trip, and for God knows what reason, the dodgy mate he had next door, and him being dodgy himself, and me just being, I guess, a sheep at the time, they decided we're going to smash it and just fucking wreck the whole thing. And I joined in. We totally destroyed the car. We smashed everything in it, ripped, whatever we could out of the engine bay, all the fuses, stereo, the upholstery, everything. Just stripped it and smashed it. And the kid next door, even when the police were called about it and they said they were coming, he even went to the effort of wiping it all down. Pretty fucking dodgy shit. But when you're a kid who's being told you're basically special needs, you're just grasping at whatever friends you can make. I eventually would ditch these people because they'd get me in so much trouble. Like, one of them stole something from a supermarket, and when the security caught us, he pinned it on me. And the police called my dad. That woke me up a little bit. These people are fucking scum. And that's why I'm not a fan of these petty criminals. The real criminals, I'll admit are intelligent, and I'll give them a bit of props for that. But these petty motherfuckers stealing just shit on everyone, and they're fucking pests and should be put away. But anyway, I move on to high school. I went from a primary school in a really low income area into a high school which is like upper middle class. I didn't fit in at all for the first year. Made a few friends. I don't speak to any of them anymore because they were all just, I don't know, we didn't really click. It was making the best of a bad situation. We didn't have any other friends, so you're friends with them. Not much to say there. It's the same stuff as primary school. We'd terrorise the school and break things and do all that. About halfway through high school, I met the guy I call the genius, which I've mentioned in many videos, and I think his picture is in a few of them. Anyway, so I start knocking about with the genius. We're sharing music. He's showing me the internet and things you can do with computers, and I start making raps with him, which is what I still do. That all started because of his influence. And, you know, we were friends, and well, I guess we still are friends. We just don't see each other much anymore. And we were, yeah, the tightest friends ever, you know, best friends kind of thing. Up until about, I think when I started Mad as a Goat, so 2012. And he had a bit of a point of breakdown. Yeah, so he's made a life change, and he doesn't smoke weed anymore, and he doesn't drink too much if he can avoid it, and his lifestyle is basically like, before it was like that, we're doing the same shit, but now it's like that. So I understand why he creates a distance. I'm not mad or upset about it. It's like, yeah, okay, you're over here now and I'm over here. We can hang out, but it has to be neutral, and we have to do something very general because, you know, just hanging out at each other's houses doesn't really mesh for what he's into now, which is fine. And a lot of the people I was hanging around with him in those early 20s, they just moved on. One or two weren't really friends, they just knew me and we hung out and smoked weed together, and so that I'm not bummed on. There was another dude, big strong man, grind cogs, but he's working and he's just doing what he does, and we don't see each other either. So here I am in 2014, and I'm not friendless. People talk to me. You know, like I said before, I don't know if I mentioned it, there's a friend from work, I sometimes go to their house. But for the most part, I spend my free time on my own making videos and music. And I'm not upset about it. I'm really not. Because you look at the progression. I went from, as a small child, being told I was going to be special needs and probably put in programs for the rest of my life and probably treated as a second-class citizen. Let's be honest, that's how disabled people are treated. It's horrible. And then I get a chance to go into the mainstream, or normal, as they call it. I saw a lot more fucked up shit in a normal mainstream high school than I would have seen in a disabled needs high school. I can tell you that. They're a lot more generous. They're not fucking cunts. I wouldn't whinge about cunts and say it so much if I was put into that. But I did get opportunities. And the funny thing is, because people remember me as the special needs in my area, when they found out, like when I went into nursing or when I started the chef course and all that, it's a huge surprise because by the general public, the bar was set pretty low. So even if I was a janitor, it'd be like, oh my God, it's working. Oh my God, I didn't even think he could tie his own shoes. So I have a sarcastic look upon the way people do that, but I'm not angry at them. I understand where they're coming from. And I think all the experiences, like at the start of high school, my mother dying, I got to hear a lot of your dead mum jokes and how they apparently had intercourse with her. So that was very character building. A lot of people just whinge about that, but it's formed me into someone who just says fuck you as soon as someone starts pissing me off. Because I've learnt, especially with that experience of having like my older sister killing herself and the mum being dead and my sister being molested, and people use that to shit with you, because that kind of bad news just spreads like wildfire. So a lot of people are going to shit on you in the high school scene for these things. And in adult society, that's totally wrong, but it just fits in high school. You remember high school and what it was like. So it was very character building, and that's why I have a very kind of fuck you attitude, and I ain't going to deal with anyone trying to change what I'm doing. That's just who I am. People tell me to stop smoking, stop drinking energy drinks, stop drinking beer, stop smoking weed, stop making stupid videos, stop doing this, and I just have an attitude of fuck you, because the way I personally feel is from day one I was treated different. Not like a disabled person, not like an ethnic person, but just different. I'm different to everyone. That's how I feel that the world looks at me. This guy is different. Not special, different. So I have a very fuck you attitude to most people because of that. It is still how I'm treated. I walk down the street and there are people, oh, that guy's a bit different. He's a bit weird. I just have that look, I guess. And I assume that's why I'm not going to be a star on YouTube, because my opinions and my look and what I talk about is just different. Not special, just different. No one can really relate to me much, and that's how I feel I am in society. I'm just a blip. So I understand the idea of the Milky Way and the universe and how vast it is and how Earth is just an insignificant blip. For me, it's not ultra important. I don't feel like proving anything to anyone. I want what I want. I'll be comfortable with it. Fuck you. That's my attitude. Always treated different. Always pushed aside for the next best thing. So fuck you. That is how I feel on the world. You know, I don't hate everyone. There's people I enjoy the company of. For the most part, all your ideas and all your dreams are just a big snore from this guy. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, I want to have a multi-billion-dollar company. I want to do this. I'm going to prove this to that. I'm going to make them look silly. Fuck making them look silly. I'm just having fun. My own fun. I'll have it on my own. You don't want to be around me? Fuck yeah. I'll have fun on my own. I don't give a shit. I used to get all upset that I was pushed aside, but now I realize it's my purpose to be pushed aside. Not everyone's a winner, baby. That's the truth. Most of us are losers, so don't hide behind your false pretense of how great you are. You're an insignificant blip on a blip in a Milky Way which is just shadowed by absolutely everything within it. Jupiter can fit the Earth within it more than 100 times. I think more than 1,000, maybe even 1,000,000. I'm not sure on the scale, but just think about that. You're a little blip. I'm a little blip. We can enjoy each other's company, we can hang around and we can be happy with it, or we can be egotistical dicks who have to be liked by everyone. I don't want to be liked by everyone. Enjoy what I do. Don't like me. If you like Matt as a Goat, don't like me. Like what Matt as a Goat is. I'm not likable. If you meet me in person, you will definitely not like me. 100%. No one else ever has. Apart from family, no one's ever really liked me. So I'm not egotistical. If this is successful, it's because of the idea, not because of me. Insignificant blip. Mad as a goat.